สวัสดีค่ะ Good afternoon ค่ะเดี๋ยวขออนุญาตเทสเสียงกันนิดนึงนะคะเสียงชัดดีใช่ไหมคะอาจารย์ขาทุกท่านขารับประทานกันโอเคแล้วใช่ไหมคะคือใจหนึ่งก็กลัวว่าจะเสียมารยาทคนกำลังทานอะไรนะคะหนูขออนุญาตดื่มน้ำแป๊บ Please allow me to speak in Thai first โอเคหนูก็คือต้องขออนุญาตว่ากลัวว่าจะเสียมารยาทว่าทุกท่านกำลังรับประทานอยู่แล้วเราก็ interrupt lunch time นะคะแต่คิดว่าเราสวัสดีทุกท่านนะคะก็คิดว่าเดี๋ยววันนี้เป็นคุยกันเหมือน small group นิดนึงนะคะแล้วก็เป็นบรรยากาศของการมาพบกันระหว่างนักวิจัยนะคะกับทางผู้อะไรนะคะนักธุรกิจบ้างหรือว่าผู้ที่อยู่ในแวดวงขององค์เทอร์พนัวนะคะหรือว่าคอมพานีต่างๆนะคะต้องขอบคุณทุกท่านที่มาร่วมงานในวันนี้นะคะต้องเรียนว่าอาจจะเหมือนเราวิ่งลงมาจากงานอะไรสักอย่างหนึ่งก็เราก็วิ่งลงมาค่ะอาจารย์อาจจะพอทราบบางท่านแล้วก็บางท่านอาจจะยังไม่ทราบคือในช่วงระหว่างนี้เนี่ยเรามีบูตแคมป์แล้วก็แฮกเกอร์ตอนนะคะที่เป็นการทำงานร่วมกันระหว่าง KKU กับMIT นะคะแล้วก็มีอาจารย์จาก Harvard Medical School ซึ่งเราตอนนี้แฮกเกอร์เนี่ยกำลังแฮกกันอยู่ด้านบนนะคะก็จะเป็นโปรเจกต์ที่เรียกว่า KKU M Health นะคะ Thailand 2017 นะคะที่จะใช้โมบายเทคโนโลยีมาในการที่จะ address health issue นะคะแต่เนื่องจากว่าเรามีทีมจาก MIT แล้วก็อาจารย์จาก Harvard มาเนี่ยเราก็คิดว่าเป็นโอกาสอันดีของพวกเรานะคะชาวมหาวิทยาลัยขอนแก่นแล้วก็ชาวขอนแก่นแล้วก็ที่เราอยู่ใกล้กันทำงานใกล้ชิดกันมาจะได้มาเจอกันแล้วก็ได้มาแลกเปลี่ยนกับทางวิทยากรที่มาจาก MIT แล้วก็จาก Harvard ก็เลยคุยกันกับทรายพาร์คนะคะว่าเรียนเชิญทุกท่านมาพูดคุยกันดีไหม Now I will switch the mode to English is that okay Jamesโอเคค่ะ Good afternoon อีกรอบค่ะ Because of the KKU M Health project that we have it run through the whole week this week start from Monday and Tuesday yesterday that we have the boot camp which is the workshop that we somehow give the information and knowledge and also workshop on digital technology and today and tomorrow the hackers hacking medicine ค่ะประมาณนั้นนะคะ to use we would like to find the solution by digital technology to address the problem of health issue and we have good group of speakers and also our mentors from MIT and from Harvard Medical School to be with us นะคะ in this building and this short time will be also speakers will share with us how MIT Massachusetts Institute of Technology right did I correct okay MIT link between researcher at the MIT with entrepreneur or industrial or company because when we are academic institution like KKU or MIT but the creation or research products or research work that we somehow discover or we work on it how we can use this knowledge and also research work to connect with the real world in the company or in the industrial and at MIT they have this kind of link that I think it is beneficial if you can share with us before he shared with us how things are set up at MIT and also after he shared with us we have two more speakers to come and join usนะคะso three of them will be with us and we can somehow open for the floor to discuss and exchange what they are doing at the MIT and what we can do here at KKU so that we can bring the most out of research work to the practical thing to the real life to the people นะคะอาจารย์เอาประมาณนั้นก่อนไหมคะ Let me introduce the first speaker James Weiss นี่ค่ะคนนี้ค่ะขออนุญาตปรบมือต้อนรับท่านนะคะ James Weiss has founded and led several initiatives aimed at increasing the pace of innovation within the life science and healthcare industry As a president and founder of the MIT Biotechnology Group, the first MIT student group dedicated to building relationships between academia and the biotechnology industry. He oversaw growth to more than 1,500 members in under 2 years, right, James? James also organized the Life Science Division of the MIT Alumni Angel Group, which connects MIT-affiliated life science startups with alumni investors. James is currently completing his PhD in the MIT Computational and Systems Biology Initiative, where he develops artificial intelligence. See, I'm not an engineerนะคะ. I may read all these things ตะกุกตะกักนะคะ. Artificial, you understand Thai? No. Okay. Artificial, after he's been here for a few days, I expect him to understand Thai, James. Sorry. Artificial intelligence methods for the design of next generation biocatalysts. In his spare time, he enjoys ทุกท่านขา In his spare time, he enjoys motorcycling, martial arts, including Muay Thai, and salsa dancing. I didn't know you enjoy salsa dancing too. Okay, so give the big hands to James ค่ะ Okay, James.
Okay, so I'm going to try, should I stand? Is that better? All right. Okay. I have my notes here, so I'm going to stand here and change the slides and read my notes at the same time, so hopefully it's okay. Okay, so thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope that this talk can be somewhat useful in the future and kind of facilitating interaction between KKU and the surrounding companies and hopefully facilitating innovation in some way. I think I'll try and go through my talk relatively quickly so we can get into conversation, which I'm really looking forward to. So what I would like to do is, first I'm going to outline what we did at MIT. But the thing to remember about this whole talk is that it's focused on MIT and the problems at MIT and the problems in the United States. And what I want to learn about today and what I hope we can talk about is the different situation here in Thailand. What is different, what's better, and what's worse, and how we can think about a similar solution, but in a way that is uniquely Thai, if that makes sense. So the talk is called Creating a Culture of Entrepreneurship, but I know that many of us are engineers here, so we're going to be engineering a culture of entrepreneurship today. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. Yes. No, it's okay. Okay, so I want to begin by outlining the current state of the world in a very high-level way and why I think now is a very important time to focus on innovation. And I think the opportunities present in this realm are uniquely exciting right now. So it's very high level. The next couple slides are very high level, so just stick with me and then we'll get into the details in a couple minutes. But for example, I think many of you may have seen this, but this is the computational power that is available. So many of you have a cell phone with you, something like this. The computational power in this cell phone is over 1 million times greater than the computers that took the initial astronauts to the moon. So that's available everywhere. That's not only at MIT, that's not only in any specific spot, that's everywhere. The other thing that's very interesting is that hard drive capacity is keeping pace. So the amount of storage that's available to keep new information is also increasing at an extremely rapid pace. So this laptop can contain more information than I could read in my entire lifetime if I wanted to. And in the life sciences, which many of us are interested in, that hard drive capacity and that computational capacity is being translated into sources of databases, which can then be used to improve human health, to understand human health, and these are all increasing at a similarly rapid pace. For example, the cost of sequencing the human genome, I don't know if many of you work in kind of biotechnology or in biology, but the first human genome cost $3 billion US. Now you can get a genome for less than $1,000, right? So that is information that currently is available, that can be stored, computed on, but that many people are not taking advantage of right now. Why did this? Right. And so this is a chart of Wikipedia. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Wikipedia. Wikipedia has grown extremely quickly. So anyone who has internet access has access to every day more information than has ever been available before in the history of humanity. Right? So every day that you wake up, there's more information available to you than has ever existed before, which is exciting. And this computational power, this hard drive space, these databases, all of these things are now available in many different devices. So it's not just your computer, it's not just your cell phone. You have watches, you know, that can access this information. There's even, you know, doors, light switches. All of these things are now becoming connected to the internet. So all of this is to say that we live in a uniquely exciting time where our information, technologies, tools, and connectivity allow innovation in a way that is unprecedented in human history. And this innovation can and is making people's lives better. It's being translated into new apps and new programs that are improving human life. However, so what I want to focus on this talk is not all the things that are going well, but the things that I think don't go well. I think that it's a mistake that many people see these slides and they think, great, everything is going well, we don't have to do anything else. And I think that's entirely wrong. I think there's a missing aspect in creating a hub of innovation that is often ignored and that has been done successfully in places where innovation is prevalent and has not been done successfully in many other places in the world, even though everybody has access to the same computational power, the same Wikipedia, the same hard drive space. So can anybody translate this for me? Can someone translate this to English for me?
This is one of the fish that have a rashy fish or bad smell fish.
Right.
Make all of the fish goes wrong.
Right. Right. So I think this is a very wise statement, and I think that in this case, the fish is culture, right? So you can have all the other fish well aligned, they can all be healthy, but if you don't have the right culture, then it doesn't matter. Everything else doesn't work. It ruins the whole barrel of fish. So that's what I want to talk about. So far I've said basically the world is an exciting spot for innovation. Everything is available except that people often don't appreciate the importance of culture in creating an innovation hub. So the subsequent question is, given that many of us are engineers or have been trained in engineering, how do we engineer culture? So we know we want to change the culture, but how do we think about improving the culture in a way that would facilitate innovation or would facilitate the goals that we have as people who want to take the resources that exist and translate them into new technologies that improve people's lives. So I think you can do it the same way that you engineer anything else. So you can list the problems that you have, you can design a solution that so hopefully addresses each one of those problems. And then you just keep trying until you succeed or you fail, which is pretty much what engineers do, I think. So this is the process that I think is important to keep in mind. And what I'm going to do for the rest of the talk is talk about this process and how I applied this process at MIT. And hopefully that will be interesting to you. Sorry, my computer froze. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, but it won't be, okay, I can try. All right. Okay, so the first step is listing the problems that we have. So what I'm going to talk about is the problems that I think that we have at MIT in biotechnology innovation, okay? So I'm going to list 4 problems. The first problem is that academics, students, and industry across disciplines do not communicate. They don't understand each other's problems, and they don't understand how to work together. So many of you may have realized this if you're in one faculty. If you're in one faculty, people in other faculties often don't understand what you're talking about. And then if you go into industry, it's even worse. The second problem that exists, at least in the Boston area ecosystem, is that there's a few people who are considered superstar connectors. And these people benefit from being viewed as the only people that can connect academia and industry. So there's a few people that are kind of like the super entrepreneurs or the super professors or the super venture capitalists. And any technology that is innovated has to go through those people. So this is good for them, because everything goes through them, but it's not good for everybody else, because everybody else, this is an impediment to them actually creating something new. The third problem in the United States is the valley of death. So the valley of death is the funding gap that exists between basic research and invention and then applied research. So you can imagine this here is federally funded research. This is nonprofit research that happens at university, for example. This is venture capital funded research or funded company, for example. This is nonprofit, this is for-profit. In between, there's a big gap of funding that is not met. And many technologies make it here, and then they fall into this hole, and they never make it here. So that's one of the problems that we have. The final problem that I'm going to talk about is the mismatch of incentives. So many of you are faculty, many of you are from nearby companies. You probably understand that professors are often too busy to run a startup. So they may create the technology, but they have a separate job, which is to be a professor, to train people, to do new research. So it's difficult for them to also run a company that they would like to grow into something that makes millions of dollars every year or something along these lines. And students are interested in starting companies. They're excited about it. Students build the new technologies, but often the professor will start the company, and then the student gets hired for a substandard salary and gets almost no equity in the company. So if I'm a student and I get hired for one of my professor's companies, he's basically taking my idea and then trying to make money off it, and I don't really get anything. So why do I care? I'm not incentivized to commercialize my technology because I can't really do anything with it. Okay, so the second step is to design a solution to these problems. So I'll go through this quickly, but this is basically what we did at MIT to address each one of these problems. And the solution that I think so far has worked well is the creation of this new organization called the MIT Biotech Group. Our goal at the MIT Biotech Group at a very high level is to increase the pace of biotechnology innovation. So how can we make more innovation in biotechnology at MIT? The first problem, if you remember, was that people do not communicate. People don't communicate across disciplines, especially. So the way that we address this is we created this organization independent of all the different organizations at MIT. This does not live in any faculty. It is not owned by anybody. It exists by itself, and we communicate and have expertise and members from all of these areas. So almost every department at MIT has people within the MIT Biotech Group, but we are not owned by anybody. The second problem is these superstar connectors that you have to go to. If I want to start a company, I have to go to, at MIT there's someone named Bob Langer, which some of you may know, and he is considered a superstar connector. If he stamps your company with his sign of approval, then you can get investment, you can get funding. But if he doesn't, it's often very difficult, even if you have a great idea. So what we did here is connected across all of the companies that surrounded us. The venture capitalists, the big pharma companies, we have contacts at all those companies now. So if somebody comes to us and says, I want to talk to someone at Pfizer, or I want to talk to someone at Amgen, we have connections across the whole industry. We are the central hub for biotechnology innovation at MIT, and then we can connect people directly to who they would like to talk to. So we've democratized, effectively, access to these people. And the third problem is something that I'm very interested in, which is the funding gap at MIT. So I've spent a lot of time working on solutions to this, and I'm going to touch on 3 of them. I'll come back to these later, actually, because I think they're very interesting. But briefly, we founded an MIT Alumni Angel Group, which is MIT alumni who are experts in biotechnology, generally have PhDs or MDs, have started their own companies, or they're executives at nearby companies. They come to MIT. We find MIT students who are starting companies. The students present their companies, and then they fund them with their own capital if they find it exciting. That works because they can understand the technology at a very early stage because they're experts in the technology. We're also working with MIT to offer no strings attached grants to students who want to start companies. So at MIT, and we've had, I think, maybe 5 companies so far that have been granted $25,000 US, no strings attached, to work on their company to get it to the point where venture capital will be excited about it. And then we've also created a group that conducts a technical group of people who have technical backgrounds that writes reports on new technologies, new companies, and then disseminates these reports so that the people who can invest in these companies are no longer people that only have area expertise, of which there are a few, but anyone who can read our report and understand it, of which there are many more. So it increases the availability of capital. And the final problem, which I think is a very serious problem, is a mismatch of incentives. So students are not incentivized correctly, professors are not incentivized correctly, almost nobody actually is incentivized correctly. The way that we've done this is by the structure of our organization. So we have one executive team which manages the high-level strategy, interfaces with the nearby companies and community, and just kind of like manages the organization, the organizational structure, things like this. But then we have a portfolio of projects, and anybody in the organization can start a project. All they have to do is come to our weekly meetings, present their ideas, and then build some excitement. And if other people in the organization think this is a good idea, I wish that this existed, then those people can help. And then we allocate resources as we have them to these projects. The reason that this works is because the project leads, people who have the project idea, they benefit from creating a new project, from working with professors are working with companies, or working with entrepreneurs, or working with venture capital, whatever they're interested in, they are supported by us to go meet with those people and learn about it. And then people who help them get experience in the area. So they may not know enough to lead a project, but they gain experience in that area, and then maybe in the future they lead a project. Okay, so that's the four applications that we had, the four solutions to the problems that we outlined. So now I want to talk about how it's going so far and a few case studies. So we launched in August 2015. There was 4 of us, and we had our initial meeting in a room just like this one, and we had just about this many seats. And we expected maybe 20 to 30 people to show up. And we had some friends come and talk. And then we advertised it to MIT. We thought, some other people will be interested in this. Instead of 25 people, we had over 300 people line up all outside, and this line goes outside of the building and outside, indicating how excited people are to get involved in a way that is not traditional. When the KKU team, including JIP, came to MIT, we had about 1,000 people. Now we have over 17. Yeah, yes. Yes. Yes, 1,000. We started with 4. Yeah. And now we have over 1,700. We'll have 2,000 members soon. So this is all to say that our solutions seem to have worked. We're one of the biggest organizations at MIT. I think we are the biggest organization at MIT, and we have about 30 people who are leading the organization. Some of them now, MIT has actually realized our value and has actually hired people just to support us. That's their job. So because of the structure that we've had, we've been able to launch many different projects and initiatives. So this is just a list. We have an online news report. We have several new classes. We have an angel investment group. We have a due diligence group. We've had Novartis come and give drug simulate. I mean, there's more things that we've done than I could talk about in the next hour. And the reason this is possible, I don't actually really do any of it at this point because everybody's so excited to get involved that they come and do the work to launch new projects. And I just talk about it. So what I want to talk about briefly is these 3, which I think are some of our more exciting initiatives and how they kind of fit into the structure of the group and into the Boston ecosystem. So the first one is called Synapse. Synapse is the MIT Biotech Report. It's an online bi-weekly report that is aimed towards people with advanced training in biotechnology and the life sciences, academic training, and introduces them to problems, people, companies in industry. So one of the things they do is they have interviews. Synapse, which is now a team of about 15 or 20 people, they sit down with successful biotech founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and ask them, what did you do to start your company? What did you do to become a CEO? What did you do to get to the point that you are? They write up the interview and they put it online. I didn't know how interesting this would be, but students find this, and even academics in general, including professors, find this very interesting. The other thing they do is they go around the Boston and Cambridge area and they identify what resources exist for entrepreneurs and for startups. And then they consolidate that into one list. And then also write up profiles. So they go around and they meet with the different companies that exist and they sit and they write, what do these companies do? What kind of people would they like to hire? What kind of problems are they thinking about? So as students and professors, you can just go to this website and learn what's going on without having to go and have all the meetings that we had to have to learn all this information. And you can actually go, this is our website right now, synapse.mit.edu. It's a separate website now. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 2 more things. The second one, yes, I think so. Yeah. The second one is a class that we've created that we call REB, or Research Experiences in Biopharma. And this is a unique new class that has, it's a new educational model for students to learn about industry and to learn about what it is like to be in industry. So the reason that we created this course is that we have this mailing list of about 1,700 people. We emailed them all and we asked them what would be most useful to you, as most of these are graduate students, PhD students. What would be most useful to you to learn about the job that you want to have, or to learn about the area that you're interested in? And almost 50% said they would be extremely interested in part-time internships. And this has been the case for years. At MIT, people want to do part-time internships, but it's very hard as a graduate student because your professor wants you to work and doesn't want you to do an internship. And also, as a student, you're funded by the university. You're not funded by the company. So people have thought for years, this just is not something that we can do. So the way that we solve this problem is by creating an academic course. This solves the funding restrictions because as a student, you can sign up for a course. That's what you do as a student. And we've offered the course for free, so the students work at the companies for free. And they get credit. So it's just like any other course that they take. It can work towards their degree. For advisors, a course is a unique block of time. It's a set time commitment. You know, you're not going to go work at a company all the time and not do any research. You're only going to be doing it for 12 hours a week. And it's accessible to students in many different fields. The added benefits are, through this course, MIT has been able to partner with many companies that MIT hasn't partnered with before. And through the course, students meet other students that are interested in this area. And there's a network opportunity between students and industry, all the students that are involved and industry. So the course is structured as 10 hours on site at the company internship, 1 hour a week class time, and 1 hour a week homework. And we're working with these 6 companies right now: Amgen, Merrimack, Novartis, Pfizer, and then 2 venture capital funds. And the positions that are available, so there's actually been much more interest in this than we expected. Students are very excited to go work at companies, even for free. They get course credit, and then the companies they don't actually get much work done, but they get access to students. They get, it's a recruiting path for them. They get to meet students that they'd be interested in hiring, and also they get to vet the students and see if they would like to hire them or not for free. And some of these internships actually, most of them are scientific internships where you go and you work with another scientist, maybe at Pfizer, doing drug development or something like this. But they're also in business and in investment. So we've had internships that are working with the CEO. So the CEO of Merrimack took 2 interns just to work with him every day for a semester. And that, I think, has been one of the best experiences for these students of their entire graduate program, because they got to see what it's like to be a CEO at a big biotechnology company. Okay, and the final one I'm going to talk about is the MIT Alumni Angel Group. So the goal of this group, as I mentioned before, is to cross the valley of death and provide funding for entrepreneurs who are creating technology companies and would like to go from academic to kind of like VC funded or for-profit sources of capital. The reason that this works is that we have on one side successful MIT alumni that are interested in helping MIT. They have experience in healthcare or the life sciences because they're either entrepreneurs that have started their own companies, they are executives that run companies, or they're professors that know the area very well. And then you have MIT students and alumni. So these are often graduate students. Even more often, they're recently graduated students that have maybe worked for several years and now want to start their own company. They contact us, and we have them come present. They present the new technologies that, these professors, executives, and entrepreneurs are very excited to hear about what are the new technologies that are happening. What are people inventing? And then the students get advice, they get connections, and they get capital. So they get enough money to cross the valley of death. They get access to enough connections and people that they don't need to be, they don't need the superstar connector to stamp them, because they're actually meeting people who share their vision and want to help them succeed, and have demonstrated that to such a degree that they've invested their own money in the company. Okay, so those are 3 of our things. We have many other ones that I could talk about, but I don't want to go on forever. So as a conclusion to this, we outlined the barriers for innovation at MIT. And at MIT, they were in the biotechnology area, lack of cross-disciplinary communication, which we addressed by being an independent organization with people from across different fields and disciplines. The existence of superstar connectors, which are a barrier to access. We address that by making our own connections across the entire ecosystem and then sharing those connections to try and democratize access. The Valley of Death funding gap, which we're addressing through the MIT Alumni Angel Group, through grants from MIT, and through the Venture Capital Diligence Group that I talked about. And then the incentive misalignment, which we addressed through the unique structure of the organization that incentivizes people to create new projects that benefit them, but also benefit everybody else. So we engineered an organization that touches on each one of these in a way that is scalable, that grows very quickly without me having to go and micromanage everything, that is bureaucracy-free, and that it has incentives aligned. And this organization has created a culture in biotechnology at MIT that encourages the rapid launch and development of new, impactful, exciting projects that are led by people who are interested, not by administrators or by professors who are somewhat interested but aren't, their career does not depend on success. These are students and alumni whose career success depends on the success of these projects. Whoops. Okay, so culture can be engineered. This is the conclusion that I've had. I think that we've had a significant impact on the culture of biotechnology at MIT, and I think that this is a translatable model that can be moved to many different areas, and I think there's a lack of awareness of the importance of culture and in the intelligent attempt to actually engineer a culture that is conducive to innovation. People think, okay, we have computers, we have the internet, we have smart people, we have smart professors, companies will naturally arise, but they actually will not unless the barriers to innovation are addressed in an intelligent way. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, James. Good talk. อาจารย์ขา may I introduce faculty members, another one from MIT, อาจารย์ Leo ค่ะ Can I give a brief introduction before we have them, each of them introduce? Because I think after James give us the example what they are doing at MIT, which may or may not be able to apply to the environment which is different from MIT, but I think it gives us some idea how are we going to get the most out of what he shared with us to be the most benefit for KKU, for Thai people, or for the people in our community, which may, we may have to discuss before we discuss, and definitely they can also, share with us. May I introduce Dr. Leo Anthony Seli. Leo, can you stand up? ค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ ค่ะ And we wait for Ken. I think Nedao is coming to get Ken. All of them are mentors in the KKUM Health Bootcamp and Hackathon. So we take each of them to come. อาจารย์ Leo, we call อาจารย์ like professor. อาจารย์ Leo has practiced medicine in 3 continents, giving him broad perspective in healthcare delivery. So he's a doctor, a medical doctor. He holds a faculty position at Harvard Medical School as an intensive care specialist at the Beth Israel Diaconess Medical Center. I call BIDMC. They also call BIDMC นะคะ and is the clinical research director for the Laboratory of Computational Physiology LCP at MIT. He also founded and co-directs MIT Sana Group, a cross-disciplinary organization based at the Institute of Medical Engineering and Science at MIT, whose objective is to leverage information technology to improve health outcomes in low and middle income countries. So thank you for coming today, Leo. When we are waiting for Ken, maybe should we pass the microphone so that the participants that be here with us today, which thank you for coming to just introduce yourself, where are you from ดีไหมคะ before we start the discussion ดีไหมคะ so that the speaker also know our components of the participant ไหมคะ
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am Thawatchai from. I have two positions. One is I am the producer of sanitary ware, building material, and also I am the vice chairman of Federation of Thai Industry and the committee of biotechnology group. Because now we set up the biotechnology group in our association. We are non-profit organization. Thank you.
สุรสิทธิ์เลิศนิมูลชัย from Concrete Product อุดรธานี Thank you.
My name is Prisha Pannikun. I'm a vice chairman of the Konkan Chamber of Commerce. My business is private school owner.
Chulatip Pongskun from Faculty of Medicine, Konkan University. I'm also Vice Director for Information Technology of the hospital. I'm the Project Director for New IT of the hospital.
My name is Dr. Somsit. I'm from the representative of Assumption University. And right now I am holding the degree of the PhD in the IT and also in management. And I came here because of the MOU of Science Park and the Assumption University. And another one of my titles is that I am holding the title of the expertise in the NSTDA, helping in the correction of the SME problems regarding the IT and board management.
Good afternoon. My name is Ruchawetan Kaew from Better Growth Group. I'm the Vice President of Corporate Research and Development. Better Growth Group is livestock and food producers in food sector, actually.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Natpasut Patilan Sinsli. I'm a pharmacist and Secretary General of the Isan Thai Industry.
I am Jingjai Arimit. I'm from Center for Research and Development of Herbal Health Product, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science, Konkan University.
Good afternoon. I'm Salanya Tantiya Sodikun. I'm a pharmacist now. I'm working at Center for Development of Herbal Health Products, same as her. And now I'm as a postdoctoral researcher in the pharmacist.
Good afternoon. I am Warawut Budvikian. I come from Cover Up Agricultural Limited Partnership. I work with research and seed production of waxy corn and civis corn.
I'm Apisak Pathanachak, Computer Science Department lecturer. Last year I have 2 camps of the startup of the entrepreneurship student. And this year we have to run the entrepreneurship education for the student in KKU from the Ministry of the Science and Technology. So maybe I want some your advice or your comment about my project too. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm from Polak, Thailand, Lamphun. Yeah, and today I came from to do what we can join or we can connect with this project. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Patri. Call me Pat. I'm a Dean of the Faculty of Associated Medical Science. And for my position, I would like to fill the gaps between how to bring the research work for the application. And it is the first point of my attention. And the second one I learned from James that how to bring the alumni position, how to bring the activity of the alumni to fill the activity of the faculty. And this is, the good opportunity for us to learn from your model. And the other one, I sense the two projects in the mHealth projects, two teams. So I think that this is the best opportunity for us to share with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Chutaphorn Sawangkaew. My specialty is about microbial enzymes such as cellulase enzyme and alkaline protease, and also I work about ethanol production and hydrogen production from microorganisms.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Suvarna Nemsanit. I'm from Microbiology Department, Faculty of Science. My research is about, I have patented the bioproduct of nitrogen-fixing bacteria that can reduce the use of nitrogen fertilizer and can promote growth of sugarcane also. Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Anungna Sibachod. I am a lecturer at Agriculture Faculty. My specialty is plant nutrition.
Good afternoon. I'm Pruksa Rawongsa. You can call me May. I'm from Faculty of Agriculture in the Department of Land Resources and Environment. And my specialty is about soil microbiology and also for the biotechnology of plant microbe interactions.
Good afternoon. I am Tuanchai Dunjinda Shbaphorn. I'm an assistant professor in Faculty of Science and Environmental Science. And I do interested in the internship course that you are talking. And I also do the research on urban heat island related to health.
My name is Nopadon Pongpisutinan. I'm from Piwat Air. We are the company that creating platform for healthy environment by using the Internet of Things technology. We are making the air quality monitoring and management, and our culture is collaboration for innovation and creating share value via the consortium.
I'm Sopon Michun, logistics site manager from Thai Beverage. Thank you.
My name is Pnomkon Khwa Khong from Chemical Engineering, Khon Kaen University. I develop about innovation, measuring, machine, automation.
My name is Rashada Tamongchai. I'm assistant to President for Technology Transfer. Actually, I'm doing research in food science technologies.
มีใครที่ยังไม่ได้แนะนำอยู่วงนอกไหมคะแนะนำตัวหน่อยไหมคะอาจารย์ขาใช่ไหมวงนอกค่ะ
Good afternoon.